Yeah, no.
Fresco.
Yeah, he changed it to De Fresco like a year or two ago.
Oh, what? Yeah. If you're out there listening to this, don't do it. Don't. Not De Fresco. It's like D'Angelo and Cisco, De Fresco.
That's what they yeah, podcast stuff.
Yep, that's all right. So, jeez. Anyway, welcome to another episode of KaiserSoBoosh. As you should know by now, which you probably don't, but I'll remind you, I'm Kaiser, and this is like a weekly thing where you do this to me.
Yeah.
Where I say and you're supposed to say like you're boosh. But all right. Anyway. Jeez. Good start. So this week, happy July 4th. Missed you then, but happy July 4th, happy Independence Day. You know, we catch a lot of holidays. We catch a lot of holidays.
Catching them.
We catch them.
They call us the rye because we must be the catcher.
The bars and hooks. Bars and hooks. Salute.
R.I.P.
Salute, Prodigy. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Let's get things moving. What do we got going on this week?
Should I do Spider-Man? Or nah, not yet.
Starting off with
spoiler. Right. Just spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So we go into the
Spider-Man?
movies and comic book things. Let's talk about Spider-Man. Yeah. I didn't see it, so I don't have much input. If you listen to some of the previous episodes, you should know that I wasn't very excited about it. But
because he hates Spider-Man, you're like Spiderist.
That's not true. I love Spider-Man, but Sony. Salute.
Who doesn't love Sony? They make like awesome TVs. I have a Sony TV in my room right now.
No, you're right. I'm a PlayStation fanboy, but when it comes to Spider-Man, abysmal. It just ruined. It made me not want to see any other Spider-Man movie. Do we need to rank the Spider-Mans? That's not a thing. Stop trolling people. Come on, it's getting ridiculous. All right, go ahead.
What's the name of this movie?
Spider-Man?
It probably has like a real name though.
Oh, Homecoming, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming. Good shit.
I saw it. See, this is.
Hey, no, look, I don't read these subtitles, yo. I just like these movies.
All right. Anyway, how was it? What'd you think?
As the hood knows it, Spider-Man Iron Man 4.
Oh, very well.
But yeah, spoilers. So yeah, if you ain't see that movie, stop listening or fast forward a lot. But stop listening and go see it and listen. But yeah, Spider-Man Iron Man 4. It was it's good. A lot of the joking, remember the meme with this being like Spider-Man Iron Man 4? It's kind of true, but in a different way. It is not Iron Man 4 because Tony Stark takes it over. It's Iron Man 4 because the suit that he gives him is, Iron Man-esque. Like, to the point that in the middle of the movie, they unlock the training wheels mode. And then he has his own voice that talks to him, Just like Tony Stark has the computer program AI.
Wait, so Spider-Man has like a Jarvis? He has Siri?
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, he has a Jarvis. He calls her Karen.
Karen, okay. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no. So he has Karen. So that's not the whole movie though. Like the for most of the movie he
I sure
does
hope not.
for the most of the movie he does have the suit. And the suit doesn't really do nothing too crazy. But then like I said, like his friend finds out that he's Spider-Man accidentally, like Ned, the fat kid, and he's like the nerd, so the whole joke they have is like, please let me help you, let me be the wheelchair guy, or let me be the guy on the computer for you, like like I talk to you in your head while you do stuff. um
Yep.
yeah, so he's like his computer guy, so they're looking over the suit and they find like, hey man, this suit has like a bunch of features that you don't even have unlocked yet, and you're in like training wheels mode. So and then once they do that, so then he has like maybe like two, or I think just two missions with the AI, maybe three if you count certain scenes with that AI. But
Okay.
so yeah, so
All right.
there is a bit of Iron Man, Spider-Man edition or something in
I
there.
mean, that's kind of cool though, in a
Yeah,
way. It's like a what if almost, like what if Spider-Man had an Iron Man suit kind of thing going on.
which did happen in the actual Civil War.
Yeah, 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 and it did. So yeah, so that's cool. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
um,
I don't think, from what it sounds like.
there's no origin story, unless you count once that kid again, Ned. Once he find Ned is probably us, the audience. I've always heard of Doctor Who being talked about. The companion to the Doctor is the audience, so they get to be the guy for you. So maybe Ned is the guy for us. So yeah, Ned is like, hey man, so how'd you get it? And he's like, yeah, I got bit by a spider. Like, I don't know if I could be bit by a spider and all that stuff like that. But that's it. They don't show nothing. You don't see Uncle Ben. You don't see any of this shit. Uncle Ben's never
Good,
even
because we've
mentioned.
already had,
Yeah.
yeah, good
Yeah, so
at
Uncle
this
Ben
point.
is a myth, doesn't exist. Um they made Aunt May, though, let's not get it twisted. Marissa Tomei is still hot. But finally there's scenes in the movie where she doesn't look like super pretty. Like she looks maybe like, all right, this is a woman taking care of somebody, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because she was looking in some of these scenes where it's like, all right, this is movie hot now, like for
For
Aunt
who? For
Aunt
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 May?
May, because Aunt May is Marissa Tomei, if you recall. Um,
I don't. I
do you remember? Do
deleted
you
a
know what
lot of.
Marissa Tomei looks like or not, or no?
Not. I wouldn't. Not what she would look like today.
But do you know what she looks like, just in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's a pretty girl. Obviously, she's older. She's probably in the 40s, 50s now, but she still looks real good. And then especially if you
Really?
do
Oh wow, that's
Hollywood
crazy.
makeup, like I'll look it up right now. But
Why'd they make Aunt May hot? Aunt May was like an old
it's
lady
probably
in the comic books. Pretty sure she was like an old lady.
it's
No, am I
probably
making that up?
she's 52. So, but no, you're not wrong. But I mean, I guess
No, whatever. All
maybe
right. Aunt May's
I
hot,
think one
kind
of the
of.
reasons, especially him coming on Iron Man's team in Civil War, is to bring it back to having her act with Tony Stark, whatever his real name. I forgot his real name, Robert Downey, because they
Yeah.
did movies together in the 90s. So it's
Okay.
more homage probably to that than anything else. Um,
Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. You're telling me weird things
these are
about
all
Spider
real
Man.
things. Yo, wait till I do this
Uh,
Spider-Man podcast with other people who've actually watched this movie.
uh,
I'm gonna go on.
okay.
Damn, I could have
Did you
plotted this
like?
movie out for you too. I fucked
Did
up.
you like it?
Yeah, it's good. It's just like maybe
Oh
like
my god. Okay.
it
Let
like
it
I think
loose.
it's more like a okay. Like it's not bad at all, but it's like you said. Like I seen Spider-Man 500 times.
You don't need to see this, right?
Yeah,
It's just,
what I mean. And then
fuck. You guys just made him fight the vulture again.
and well, let's not shit on the vulture yet. But I mean,
Oh my
um,
god.
no, I
They
know.
made you a
Look,
believer. They
look,
made you a
hold
believer
on,
in the
calm
vulture.
down. Nah, cause
Like a
Michael
bird.
Keaton's a G. That's why it's less the vulture and more Michael Keaton being this grimy motherfucker, yo.
I'm just hating. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Plus the vote first off, man. All right,
Oh
so
my
the
god.
movie starts off in flashback city. Like maybe a lot of people were already shitting on maybe like this is like a plot hole and Sony fucked it up, even though Sony didn't make the movie. But um, so Vulture's storyline is Avengers 1 happened. Michael Keaton runs a construction company. Um, he's kind of like a hard ass boss, and then the government comes and takes it over. Because he got the big job of fixing the Avengers um building that got fucked up during the Avengers the war, the whatever whoever they were fighting, the Atari or whatever.
Yeah.
Atari 16. Um so yeah, so the government takes it over. He's like, "Man, who's your boss?" And it ends up being like Tony Stark again anyway, like in some government loop bullshit. So, they he's almost like the blue collar guy who gets screwed out of a job and like has to let people go. But they were getting a lot of alien tech down there too because that those green people they fought left some weapons. So he's like, yeah, nah, you know what? Don't give it back. And then you fast forward 8 years and they're like alien tech smugglers. That's what they are.
Okay.
So you got Vulture there, and you have the Baby Shocker because he never really gets the costume, but I guess he has like the arm. And I guess if you look up his name, it's probably him. But yeah, the black dude is like, and this white dude, they're both kind of playing like the role of the Shocker, but there is no costume Shocker. He just has like the arm and the idea of it.
Yeah. Because Shocker wears like
Yeah,
a
no, real
weird
costume.
yellowish costume.
Yeah. Which I would have
like
liked
a
to see.
fencing mask
So
on.
if you really want me to pick if I have to say something is really bad about this movie, I would like that would be my own thing because I'm a that's one of the few things I would shit on with Nolan is I don't like the dumbing down of like shit like that. Like, look, man, if this guy's the Shocker, I don't want to see a white guy or a black guy with a gun or they kind of like put it on their arm, so it's like an alien thing. Like it's almost like they have like a big arm thingy. But it's like that's not cool. I want to see this
It wasn't
costume.
explicit enough.
No, I want to
You
see this
you
yellow
the Shocker.
dude doing shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that shit's kind of whack. So I guess the spirit of the Shocker was there, but I don't. The Shocker is not really in it. But yeah, anyway, but Vulture, like right off the bat, so he's just the G, and he pretty much uses that costume like for just like big smuggling. like he just steals from the government. Like anytime they have like alien tech, they're just like illegal drug dealers, or illegal arms dealers, pretty much. And they sell them on the streets and everything. And they make it out of the alien tech and stuff. Spider-Man uses most of the movie in the beginning, like, man, Tony, I want, like, he's just really trying to be an Avenger, and obviously Tony ain't got time for that. I feel like there's 4 big scenes. They're not really coming to me right now in the middle, but yeah, a lot of it is like, man, like he just wants to be the guy, and Tony's like, just chill. And a lot of the scenes also kind of.
So what is he doing? Is he fighting?
Some of them are like doo-doo, but like
crimes.
Obviously the major scenes are like more important. But some of them are just making fun of like him just doing basic stuff. Like he does reports to Iron
Man. Fought petty. Spider-Man did fight petty crimes.
Yeah. One of them was like, look, this old lady was lost, and he helped her, bought him a coffee. like.
Jeez.
So it's like rescuing cats sometimes, or some type of like real basic shit.
And being a wise ass. Obviously.
Yeah. He found like somebody stealing a bike. He couldn't find who the bike belonged to, so he just leaves a sign from Spider-Man, like don't touch this bike unless it's yours.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so he's just trying to be the guy. But then like anytime he would maybe overstep his bound, because he kept warning Tony about like, yo, these arms guys, whatever, as he stumbles and learns more and more. But anytime he would fight them, like there would be a lot of collateral damage, and like the movie's kind of showing that a lot. Like, yo, man, like this hero shit ain't a game, because I guess maybe to him it's a bit too much fun. And you see people like lose their stuff, maybe if it ain't their lives, but like this guy, like the store he goes to every day, now the store is gone. And people are affected by you being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He really hit that part. If we fast forward a lot,
And that's crazy since he's in Civil War and he obviously both in the comic and in the thing
okay,
sides with Tony Stark. So that's kind of a I don't know if that's
yeah.
any
Well,
sort of real tie into that, but
so
being that it is the same universe, that makes sense.
you go into that. So yeah, the movie starts off with that whole, like I said, the whole 8 years and showing like kind of like the origin of Vulture more real quick. But then it also shows, for the purposes of the Marvel universe, the origin of Spider-Man. So no, you don't get to see him bit, but you get to see him get kind of recruited by Tony.
We don't know how he got.
No, but
Nobody knows how
he's shooting the
Spider-Man
whole
became
thing like via
Spider-Man.
his cell phone like a kid, and he's doing all the wise ass commentary. Um
Yeah.
yeah, and so you almost see like some of the airport scene from the plane, like even like um he's like, "Yo, I'm doing such a good job." And then you see Ant-Man grow and he's like, "What the hell is that?" So yeah, no, like they do that whole thing really good. And that's kind of how they bridge it all. But yeah, I'm like skipping over a lot. I'm sure I'll talk more in detail when I do one with Dan. I think Danny wants to do one, so because he saw the movie. But so yeah, like then the middle of the movie, he unlocks Karen.
His name can't be Danny anymore either.
Oh, his name is Danny Blanco. That's his street name. Everybody has a street name on here.
All right.
Like Danny Blanco, because that was his street. It just happens his street name's really close. If he makes a new one, um, then we'll change it.
Yeah, no,
D Fresco, his
yeah,
hip
just it
hop
can't.
name, even though we'll always know him as Damn.
Yeah,
We'll always
yeah.
know him as
What?
Damn. We'll always know him as Damn. But yeah,
D
no,
Fresco.
yeah, he changed it to D Fresco like a year or two ago.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna save that shit for him.
D Fresco?
he ain't digging
Really?
D Fresco.
Really? Why did he do that? I don't. He's gonna hear this. We obviously run.
He's like our number
somewhat.
one fan, yo. He hears shows that he's on, so shout outs to D Fresco. Even when he's on it, he hears it. I'm like,
Look,
that's
stop,
crazy.
stop. Look, you and D Fresco are Jeep trolling me right now.
D Fresco, son.
Stop.
Leon, his hip
That's
hop
not a real
name
thing. Anyway,
is
DAM.
like Adrian or Adrian. Like if I don't know how to say it right. It might just be Adrian, but I don't know why he uses that.
Who does David think he changed his name? Like
D
he Puff
Fresco,
Daddy
son.
something
D
to
Fresco.
D Fresco. I'm
DAM's
not feeling
dead.
it. Yo.
That should be his next album. DAM's dead.
DAM. If you're out there listening to this, don't do it. Don't. Not D Fresco. It just sound, it's just a weird word.
He spells it like DFRESCO.
All right, look, we're getting way off track. Let's
hold up, almost done.
Back to Spider-Man.
So Leon's Adrian or Adrian, whatever, Adrian or Adrian, and then Hanzo's via the villain. So yeah.
Okay.
I think that's everybody so far.
Fucking D Fresco sounds like a weird like R&B singer from like
D'Angelo. It's like he was like around the same time as D'Angelo.
It's like D'Angelo and Cisco. D Fresco.
That's what they
All right. Stop.
I feel like I'm making this movie sound like dick sauce.
I'm sorry.
Because
all right, so let me ask you some questions then, and let me ask you some questions.
Wait, hold on.
All right, so go ahead.
All right, like Karen moment happens. Yeah, so like you get.
What's Karen?
Yeah, the AI for Spider-Man. That's when he becomes truly Iron Spider-Man. So
okay.
He's talking, and then it becomes like kind of that, like, isn't it fun to be Spider-Man? But since the whole program is kind of meant to be like he graduated, so he doesn't know how to use any of the things. So like every time he would try to do something, that's when he becomes a clown, pretty much, because none of his web shooters work correctly anymore or nothing, because he has 578 different types of web shooting, grenades and all that. It's Iron Man'd out. Like the whole suit is Iron Man'd out, he has access to like pretty much all kinds of like hearing and security surveillance data because he has all the Stark data,
Yeah.
So it's pretty, that's pretty crazy. But
so
he doesn't
he's
know
like,
how to use a suit.
his abilities are amplified greatly.
Yeah, no, he has like he's pretty much like Batman
with an Iron Man suit.
He's pretty much
He's
Batman.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
with an Iron Man suit, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. He ain't flying. No. Yo, he even got a parachute. He ain't got
Spider-Man's like his own organic powers are enough. Like Spider-Man's a beast, but
yeah.
Now he have an Iron Man suit.
So Vulture meets Spider-Man around that time because like Spider-Man's like hunting these people and they like, yo man, Spider-Man keeps coming after us. Like, yo, we gotta call the boss. They call the boss. Boss ain't happy, but he gets suited up. And it looks like the costume looks like he's wearing almost like a pilot thing, and then he adds this armor piece, which is the wings, you know? And that makes him the Vulture. But he's probably wearing like a specifically Vulture looking coat, and then like probably a replica of the exact mask that pilots use to like war pilots to use to for breathing and stuff. So yeah, he swoops down and the Talons grab him, you know, and then he just flies them up to infinity. To try to pretty much do a mega drop, you know, but he has a parachute. But those Talons are primarily, see, I feel like the Vulture gimmick, like, they never even call him that, by the way. Like, they say Vulture-like things, but he's never called as the Vulture, you know, really. But I feel almost all Vulture-like abilities and animal-like abilities, I feel like were made for smuggling and then, like, stealing things. That's pretty much what he uses all that stuff for, you know? It was less of War Machine idea and more of like, this would be really good for stealing.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, Spider-Man keeps tracking. You have the monument scene, but that's less important for what I guess what I'm trying to do. You fast forward to the Staten Island ferry scene. That's the scene where like Spider-Man lies to Tony Stark. Boat gets split in half, you know? What
does he lie to him about? By the way, people, I don't care about spoilers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said spoilers. You still listen. That's your fault.
Yeah, no, I know.
He lied. Well, he literally lied like that he was at school at that time because he didn't tell him that he unlocked the suit. You know, he just doesn't want to be treated as a little kid. So yeah, so he's like saying like, I'm not, you know, I'm at school right now. I gotta go, but he's really trying to bust another, not drug deal, but you know, arms deal. Vulture splits the boat in half.
How does he do that?
He has the gun of, he's using like alien. All this shit is alien tech.
Okay, all right.
So it's like a giant lightsaber like blast in the middle, you know.
True that, you're right.
He tells the Shocker, yo, we out. Like, he starts flying, Shocker jumps on him like, yo, we out, let's go. Hood getaway.
I can't stick around after doing something like that. The authorities are probably going to show up at some point. Like, probably a good idea to, you know, get out of
So, yeah, you know, Iron Man's suit gives him the exact points to spray or whatever, you know, web shoot, so that the thing won't split in half. And then the suit tells him, like, congratulations, you were 98% there. And he's like, 98%? And the suit even shows him the spot that he missed. And then all the stuff starts breaking down again. And then Iron Man shows up, and, you know, as you see in the trailer number 2, the spoiler trailer, the dumbest trailer in the world, you know, he puts the boat back together. He ion cannons that shit so that it's sealed. There's a summer movie moment where like when Spider-Man sort of saves it, there's a fat guy and he's like, Spider-Man, yeah. But then everything starts going bad. So then when Iron Man save it, he's like, Iron Man, yeah. You know, like Spider-Man's sad and Iron Man has the, you know, the heart to heart with him. He's like, look, man, you fucking up. You doing all this bullshit. And Iron Man had showed up before, right? To save Spider-Man from the Vulture the first time. But it wasn't even Iron Man. It was one of the Iron Man, you know, like how Ultron has the clones, you know?
Yeah, one of the goon bots.
Yeah, and then Tony was literally talking to him from like Africa or some shit, so somewhere in the Middle East, Indonesia or something. So he thought it was him, but he was like, he he opened up the face, and yeah, it was nobody. He's like, look, I'm busy. I'm driving a car right now. Like I got this life to live. So then, yeah, like there's a moment where he's
That's
like,
what the
man,
Goombots are for,
yeah,
you
he
know?
was like, yo, man, if you really cared, you'd be here, as they're arguing, and then like the suit opens up. Of course, it's him. They keep arguing. He's like, yo, man, I'm gonna take this suit back. Blah blah blah. Man, I'm giving like the worst summary. All right, so look, man, I'll just fast forward. This movie's all good. It's fine. The summary sucked. The best scene in this movie, though, of course, is a high school movie. So Michael Keaton, right, the white dude.
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
So, what's what's that like? What's the high school part like? What's Spider-Man like?
Someone
How's that aspect of
Someone
it?
wrote, and this was always the plan, so I guess they succeeded for other people. But someone wrote this is like a John Hughes movie, but with Spider-Man, obviously. Do you know who John Hughes is?
Yeah, remind
He's
me.
dead
Say
now,
something.
unfortunately. Um, John Hughes made for, and they actually show this movie in the movie. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He wrote that,
Okay, all
directed
right.
that. He made The Breakfast Club. He
Okay,
wrote Home
both
Alone.
classic.
Yeah, he wrote all these
Yeah,
like
okay,
kind of
yeah.
like
No, all right.
childhood. Like he's very good at doing a lot of these like younger
Child
movies.
angst,
Yeah,
teen like angst movies,
yeah,
which is a big theme in Spider-Man is like
yeah. So that was their
maturity.
goal, is to do some of that. So I skipped over that in my attempt at a summary. I skipped over, but obviously that's all real good. He
Well, yeah,
likes
that's why
the
I'm asking you
girl.
the questions anyway. Okay.
Yeah, so of
Yeah,
course he
what's Peter
likes this
Parker's like?
girl.
That's what I'm asking about. What's
Yeah,
Peter
he's fine. He
Parker's
likes Liz. Not as much Aunt May in this movie, but there is the like few
hot
moments.
on May? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, all right. So they, like I said, they try to make her look old with sunglasses, with not glasses, but yeah, with normal glasses. But I'm like, it's too late. They showed her hot, and I'm like, yo, man, I want Aunt May. That's just me. But I mean, like, but yeah, no, like he's good. Like, but they show the like scenes where she does get concerned, and he has to calm her down and stuff. Um, but yeah, what's some other questions you have?
So, what's the balance between Spider-Man and Iron Man / Spider-Man
There's not a
suit, which
lot of
sounds
Iron
pretty
Man.
cool. I mean the suit, not Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do we see a lot of organic Spider-Man, or do you see more of this Spider-Man, melded with essentially Iron Man?
Well, he does use that suit for every scene, but the final scene, because the final scene happens where Tony takes away the suit, and he says the line, "If I don't have that suit, I'm nobody." Or he's like, "Well, you don't deserve the suit." So then he goes back to wearing the kitty suit that he had in Civil War. That it looks
Yeah.
like like a hoodie and shit. Like a red hoodie and goggles and stuff. So yeah, he does the final fight scene in that.
Okay, that's hot.
Yeah, and you can argue before he activates Karen, even though that suit is special, he's not really using it to do anything that Spider-Man couldn't do because he doesn't know any better about the suit.
Okay.
So it's only in the middle of the movie that
So he kind of
Karen
like
thing.
like realizes, that he doesn't need the suit.
Yeah, yeah.
That as Spider-Man, he's, just as powerful and
Yeah,
can do what
because
he
there's
needs to
one
do.
moment in the beginning where they confront each other and like the Vulture quote unquote defeats him, and he's like ready to give up, and he's pretty much a kid. He's just crying, and he's like, and he's just remembering that moment, and he's like, no, like I gotta. He doesn't say I gotta believe in myself, but he's like, all right, come on, Spider-Man, you can do it, and he just because he's pretty much buried under rubble, and he just picks himself out. So that's pretty much when he finally starts to believe in himself versus just relying on the suit.
Okay. And oh man, just dropped that. So with that, how does it kind of transition with him and Tony Stark? Is it like he's gonna be in the Avengers, or are they just kind of like Tony Stark's like, yeah,
Tony Stark
Does
is the
it?
mentor, but the way he acts, like he puts John Favreau
Is
in charge
Spider-Man
of him.
independent? Is he a free agent at the end of this?
I'll get to that right now, but he puts John Favreau in charge of him in the movie. You know who that is?
No, it was John Favreau.
I guess
that name's mad familiar.
his code name is Happy. The fat guy, like Iron Man's assistant, the limo driver.
Okay, yeah.
But John Favreau is really important though, because he's credited as the guy who started the Marvel Universe. He directed Iron Man and Iron Man 2. So that's also like his big role. But like now his role is he just plays, the funny guy with Tony Stark,
Okay.
But yeah, he's the limo driver. So like Tony's like, look, he ain't got time for this shit. Happy's gonna be in charge of you. Like so Happy's like his almost like who he reports
chaperone.
to. Yeah,
he's like, yeah.
He doesn't chaperone Spider-Man because he doesn't care about no little kid either. So he ignores most of his calls, but he's just like, that's the guy he reports to. So yeah, at the end of the movie, like Happy finally calls him back and they like, the guy wants to, they're moving from the Avengers base downtown in New York to upstate, which is the same. You saw Ant-Man, right?
No, I told you that's like one of the few Marvel movies that I've been to.
You seen like, well, anyway, they're moving to upstate. It's in Civil War, I guess too. But yeah, they're moving to upstate, so they drive to upstate, and Tony's like, "Yo, man, it's almost echoes Civil War." He's like, "All right, man, so I was wrong about you, blah blah blah," and he shows him like the next mega suit, like the mega. It's almost closer to the actual Iron Man suit or Spider-Man Iron Man suit, like it's red and everything.
It's still legit.
Yeah. And he's like, look, man, I got this shit for you, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be an official Avenger.
He's like,
I got this press conference right outside, and we're going to introduce you, And then Spider-Man's like, you know what? I think you're probably right before, and I'm going to be the neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man for a little while longer, So he turns it down.
That's hot.
And then, surprisingly, what's her name? The hot white girl, Gwyneth Paltrow, she comes like because he sees Pepper Potts, and I was surprised because I felt like her and Natalie Portman died, like like they didn't want to pay these famous actresses who were kind of just playing more normal characters in that universe. It was starting to seem like, but yeah, no, she comes out and asks him about like, well, if Spider-Man ain't gonna happen, what the hell are we gonna do, And then they tease at a marriage there. Between them.
Yeah.
But no, that just me telling that was just more important to be like, oh shit, this girl's still here because they haven't really used her.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I haven't even. Yeah, it's definitely past, I guess, her prime.
Well, no, I think
she used to be in mad movies and like, what I'm saying.
Well, no, she has this thing that she gets criticized for a lot. It's she has her own business called Goop now. You ever heard of that? It's like a woman brand.
Okay.
But she gets criticized because they do a lot of shit that maybe isn't the most medically like sound stuff. I think they had like a jade egg that you're supposed to shove up your pussy and it like gives it strength. All right. The other thing is they were selling like NASA tape. And if you put it on your skin, it's supposed to do something cool for you. And then NASA was like, look, man, we don't use this shit on our astronauts. This shit's crazy. So then they stopped selling it. Either way, though, like, it's super mega successful. But no, what I meant with her and Natalie Portman is that I think they just made the mistake of casting real actresses in roles that maybe aren't as important to these type of movies. So I think once the movie started being super successful, you're essentially paying these people real money to just kind of be there, like there's not much for them in that role,
Yeah.
Like maybe for Miss Marvel, yeah, because that's her movie, but for like the girlfriend of Iron Man or the girlfriend of Thor, that's not as there's not much for them to do, so.
Okay, so what was the? Did they have some teaser at the end? Is there any? Is
two
there any
end credit scenes?
or references
first one
to Infinity War?
Nope.
Okay.
First end credit scene is Vulture in jail, and someone approaches him. He got his face super fucked up. Blames Spider-Man. He's like, "Yo, man, I heard there's a rumor. You know who Spider-Man is? I got some people outside. We could fuck him up." And the guy's like, "Look, man, I don't know shit." Vulture does know who Spider-Man is, at that point, but he just smiles and just keeps it moving, you know. But I was like, this scene. Why are they showing me this scene? So I looked it up, and that guy, I guess, is the Scorpion. Another guy, I'm sure you can't
Okay.
wait to see.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's a low key one. He's a low key one of those
Yeah.
guys. One of those guys.
And then the second scene, the final scene. So, throughout Spider-Man being in high school, you see him in gym and stuff, and Captain America does these videos, you know, like
For fitness in
yeah,
school,
and
like
stuff like
public
that.
service announcements.
Yeah, even in detention, he's like, "Oh, you messed up, blah 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 blah." So the last one is like, you know, like I don't remember what he says, so I'm gonna just wing it, but you'll get the idea. Sometimes you go through life and you learn these valuable lessons like patience, and you wait a while, and sometimes nothing comes. And this is one of those moments, you know? So it was almost that was deep trolling, you know, like you like to say.
See, look. I told you. Now they're just, yeah. All right,
Because they've trained
all
us to
right.
stay in. It's amazing. Like you don't see these movies on day one, but it's amazing how many like I don't want to say that I'm not normal or I'm special, but the world now is trained to just sit there, you know, in any comic book
Yeah,
movie versus like everybody, like families. Like it's not just me anymore, you know, it's all of us. We all sit there. So I guess they were like
I
trolling
get,
on that.
I get the fuck up and leave. So.
Let alone
It
that
depends how I'm
Guardians.
feeling. It
Guardians had
depends how
like
I'm feeling.
five. Guardians was like, fuck all you guys. Like I'm just doing a movie every 3 credits. So Guardians
You
had
know
like
what?
5 scenes.
I
Yo.
kind of wish they didn't do that. They should stop. Actually, this is a request. Put like a 10-second,
I don't.
just
First
10
off,
seconds of darkness and go into it. I don't want to sit and do the. Come
yeah,
on.
I know. I think that shit's stupid. I think either one, they shouldn't do it. Just show it at the very end, or two, what they kind of been doing is they show the important credits where you know the main actors, and then it goes into a scene. That's usually like a minute because the important credits too, like what they did, is they show like Spider-Man. They pretty much show the whole movie in like a minute, but it's all animated with like Flash or something in like a cool cutesy way, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so those credits, and then you see the Vulture scene I told you about. So I maybe don't mind that end credit scene, but the final end credit scene, like, yeah, that's a long wait. Like it's stupid, but it's not the worst thing in the world because now it's 2017, so you just turn on your phone and just catch up, you know. Like, but it's still annoying, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so overall,
All right, look, man, look.
I
I
mean, do
described
you
a
have
lot of
anything
bullshit to
more?
you, but yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you the only important
I
scene
asked
in
some
this
real
movie.
questions
No, 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 no,
about
no. But I
the
just meant mine.
biggest
My
Spider-Man.
summary sucked the balls, and that's my fault.
No, I got
But
some info. I think the people got some info.
yo, I'm gonna tell you the most important part of this movie, and it sucks because you didn't see Death Note, which we will talk about later. Um, you didn't see Code Geass either, right? As an anime.
No, I took the
So these
last anime.
animes, even now, dude, even now in this world where we don't really watch too much anime, and you know we have our real lives. Let me tell you something. You should make time for those. Those things are top tier, godlike. Those two animes, and one of the main reasons is because they work on a very high mental level. You know, like it's not just like, oh, let me go Super Saiyan like we used to like, you know? There's a lot of mental mind games going on there. And the beginning setup of the final scene is like, I mean, like I didn't see it coming. I'm sure some people always see it, you know, some people see things coming, but I didn't see it coming. But um there's a form of metagame there that I was like, man, for a little while, this is very Death Note-ish. Um, so Spider-Man, you know, like Spider-Man and like Batman sometimes face they're trying to live these dual lives, and Spider-Man keeps failing as a student because he keeps doing what he describes as the Stark internship, aka Spider-Man, you know? Um and one of those things he wants to do is like this girl, I think her name is Legs. I don't mean like do her, but you know, like he wants her to be his girlfriend, you know? Um, so he fucks that up for a majority of the movie, but at the end, he's finally gonna take her to Homecoming.
Okay.
So he goes to pick her up, and he knocks on the door, and he's already been to this place because he had a part. She had a party. She's the senior, he's a sophomore. He was at a senior party, got embarrassed. Cool. And who opens the door? Like, this is a black girl, by the way. So this is another thing that maybe doesn't lead that. But the vulture opens the door. But Michael Keaton, not the vulture.
Okay.
So I thought on one hand, I was like, oh man, Michael Keaton's the G. Like he was following this guy like for a minute. But it's not even that. Like Michael Keaton just literally is her father. Like,
Okay.
and he has a black wife and everything. So it's like, I guess a lot of people, like if you're staring at it from like a racer perspective, you probably don't see that shit coming. Or when he does appear, you think maybe he kidnapped her or something. So it's Peter Parker is just freaked the fuck out. Like, and everybody's going along with it because they just think he's freaked out because he's a shy kid against an intimidating dad, and family. But yeah, he's just freaked the fuck out. And like you see him in the kitchen playing with a knife, you're cutting up meat, but like Peter Parker the whole time is just odd as fuck, just shy. He's asking him questions about what he's gonna do to his girl. He's like, good answer, like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna totally take you out to the dance,
Could his spider sense could have been at work there?
What do you mean?
I mean,
They don't really
like,
ever. Spider-Man is Spider-Man, but they don't ever really ever, and it's a hard thing to describe unless you really want him
at
to
this
say
point,
the word.
does he know that
Spider
he's the
sense tingling.
vulture?
Yeah, no, he does know. So that's why he's
Oh.
acting odd because he's like Vulture
Oh,
doesn't know,
okay.
but he's freaked out because he just wants to go on this date with his girl, and he's like, oh my god, this girl's like dad is like the Vulture, and he's like, what do I do? So he doesn't know what to
Okay.
do, and then like the guy wants to take them to the dance, so it's like the most uncomfortable drive, like and he's asking him questions and he's still just freaked the fuck out. And then what's cool is because it becomes this meta game midway, which is very Death Notice. Because she makes the mistake because he's acting like a freak. He's just freaked out, so he's not doing much. And she's like, "Oh yeah, he has this Stark internship," and she just keeps bragging about him. And he knows Spider-Man, and he's like, I feel like I know your voice from somewhere, like have we met, And then once she starts saying all that, he starts putting it together, and how it was really lucky that Spider-Man was there to save his daughter, of course, and how Peter was always missing from certain events. So like they start piecing it together, and pretty much halfway in the car ride, he knows what's up, Michael Keaton. And
Yeah.
then so they're playing this meta game, and then he tells her like when they finally get there, like, all right, you can go in now. I'm gonna have the normal daddy talk, And then they talk, and then he talks, like, which some of this is in the trailer, the trailer too, that fucks it up. Where he says, I'll kill you and all of you and everything you love, all your family, whatever. So he gives that talk, but he's basically saying, look, man, you saved my daughter, I owe you one. So I'm gonna give you this choice. You go in there, you go and enjoy the dance. Treat my daughter well. You saw her awesome night, not too awesome of a night, but an awesome night. You go be a kid, I'm gonna go walk the other way. Nothing, and we're all good, like that's it, Or the other choice. You can go, you fucking be Spider-Man like a bitch, and I'm gonna kill you and everything you love.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get it popping.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton, like he's real good, man. I'm telling you, Michael Keaton's real good in this
No,
movie.
Michael Keaton's a G.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton's always been a G.
He's more a G, and similar for why Robert Downey Jr. is good as Iron Man because of he's Robert Downey Jr.-ness. Michael Keaton's Vulture is good because of when he's Michael Keaton more than when he's the Vulture,
Yeah, he still looks kind of young too. Like I don't know how old Michael Keaton is, but I don't know. Like when I saw the trailers, it was just like, yeah.
So yeah, nah. So like that scene, that's the number one scene for me in that movie is just that whole scene of when they're just interacting with each other.
Huh.
That's like by hands down, like best scene. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
So
like
what's next from what's
worth
next from
seeing just
Marvel?
for that.
What's next on the superhero plate?
For Marvel, Thor, which they showed that trailer, but you've seen it already. You know the Ragnarok trailer. Remember any of it or not?
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of craziness happening.
Yeah, you got
And
like Helena destroying Asgard or whatever her name is, the lady from
Hulk and
Hell.
all sorts of craziness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was wild.
On the one hand, a
Okay.
part of me wants to say maybe that one will allude to Infinity War, but honestly, they've done like 800 movies now, and none of them allude to Infinity War, including the Guardians, which have Thanos' own daughters in them. One of them even has Thanos in it. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if nothing alludes to Infinity War except for the end credits of Black Panther, because that
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's just what they are. And one of the more interesting things,
Yeah, just relax and wait, all right? So
one of
when
the
it comes out,
most
it'll come
interesting
out.
things, because Josh
Take it
Brolin
easy.
plays Thanos, and he's also getting ready and playing Cable now too. I feel like we've seen more Josh Brolin as Cable than we have seen of anything involving Thanos, like, which
It's
is
a
insane to
secret.
even say. But Marvel
Just
has
take it
those
easy.
secrets, you know.
Yeah, take it easy, buddy. We got you, all right? Just
And
relax.
you, for you, one or 2 weeks, a few weeks before Thor Ragnarok, Justice League comes out, so you get to see Batfleck,
Control.
the G.
Control.
Shit, drill, Batman. You know, it's
That
drill
B
time.
dub. That's that B dub. That's not Batman. That's BW.
So I think those
Amen.
are the next two. I'm really surprised. Like, it's only July, and I feel like in terms of hero stuff, I don't think we have anything for the summer unless I'm omitting something heavy. So that is surprising to me. But,
Hmm.
but yeah, man. So yeah, it's good.
Very well.
It's good. But it feels very much like on the journey to Marvel, which is, maybe a good thing. Like in the journey of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is just another piece of that pie, the
Yeah,
Spider-Man movie.
but it's not on par with the heavy hitters
What do you mean?
in comparison to maybe like even just Captain America 1 or
Oh,
some of the
well,
better.
I mean, well, if we're gonna talk about me enjoying it more than Cap, I might enjoy a Captain America one. I think what you're trying to say is, do I think it's one of the top tiers of all time? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
Wonder
yeah.
Woman? No. Is it Winter Soldier? No. Is it Guardians one? No. Those are the God movies. Like yeah. Is it Civil War? Like the fight scene? Like no.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. But I mean, like, it doesn't suck. It's another quality picture. That's it. It's one of those pictures like where like I said, Marvel's done an overall good enough job where you can criticize it for being good. Like it's good, but now you just criticizing little things, man. But it's not. It's not the top tier. It's not the God movies. No.
Okay.
But hey, man, he's here. At
Very
least
well.
Spider-Man's here. Venom might be lost in his own world, but Venom incarnates might be
Just
sacrificed
stop,
to
stop.
Sony.
Oh my
But
god.
at least we got Spider-Man. In the
Stop.
Avengers.
Stop. Stop. Stop now. I apologize, people. I
Those are
really
those
do.
are teasers of podcasts to come when we start.
All right. Jeez. That was like a Spider-Man podcast right
That was.
there in and of itself.
Oh yeah,
An
this is
explanation.
like we had like 45. We'll just end it
Uh,
and we'll just do another one
no,
for.
no, no. So all right. So
No,
so
no, we
what's
could. We
so
should just
what's
end
next?
it. We just should just end it.
Oh, all right. All right. So no,
Here, do a song of a
no,
week.
no, no. I'm about to say something. This is
Okay.
all natural, baby. This is
Oh,
all natural. It's live.
oh,
We always do it
oh,
live.
the freshest
It's
of drugs, oxygen and carbon dioxide.
yeah. Oh man. Anyway, what I was gonna say is you made me that review it doesn't sound like it completely validated what I originally thought, which was that I just really, really didn't need to see Spider-Man. But I also don't feel like I need to see Spider-Man
Well,
from
look,
what you told me.
let me tell you something. Based on things that you are interested in or not interested in, like it murders Alien Covenant. I mean,
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out
The
to
joy and beauty of this movie.
Xenomorphs.
Yeah, I know. The joy and beauty of this movie is less, it's less any of those Spider-Man complaints and more like the title implies, Homecoming. Spider-Man is finally in the Marvel universe.
Those motorcycles. Just
I know. Spider-Man's finally in the Marvel universe. Spider-Man is finally an Avenger. Spider-Man can play with all the people that you've been enjoying so far. And oh yeah, Spider-Man's a kid where he's in this John Hughes like movie. Blah blah blah. He's we're gonna do high school. In theory, if they do a trilogy, it's supposed to be sophomore, junior, senior. So you really get to see the Spider-Man who's a boy, like a certain storyline likes to do. That way, when the public, like when they did the Tobey Maguire scene, very powerful, very awesome scene. And Spider-Man 2, where he stops the subway with no mask off and they all look at him.
yeah.
And he's supposed to be, they're like, man, you're just a kid. You don't really get that feeling with him. I mean, it still worked. I thought it was awesome. I'm crying, but I was a child. But, he does look like a man, He's a young man. But I guess with Tom Holland, he at least looks like a boy. They make him all high school. He's really playing with other high school kids, Hey, I didn't even get to touch on this.
Young.
Yeah, so like the beauty of this movie is all those other things, but I get it. Sony fucked up, like, they fucked it up for you. So here's this thing, right? So I watched this podcast with Kevin Smith and this other guy, Mark, and Mark's a writer. Damn,
Jeez, man.
Rough Riders, Rough Riders. Let's go. My dog's gonna stop. Your dog's gonna drop. When we gonna shut them down? Open
I
up
can't
shop.
even tell you where I'm doing this podcast from.
First we got them like, whoa. Now they like, oh, what, baby?
There's pitbulls out here.
That's how Rough Riders roll.
There's pitbulls out here and stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's crazy. It's
DMX.
crazy sometimes.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
My dog. Y'all didn't think I was going to do this podcast without bikes?
We got DMX to guess here.
I don't remember. Oh, so anyway, so they see the trailers when they first came out, and they were like, wouldn't it be interesting if that girl, because there's a weird girl, there's a scene in the trailers where they're looking at Liz, and she's like, man, she's so hot. Yeah, she's so hot. And this other girl who looks kind of weird and like the lonely girl or the lonely weird artsy kid, she's like, y'all are weird, because they keep staring at her, She's just making fun of them.
Okay.
And he told Kevin, so this other guy, he's the writer himself, and he always looks at films, I don't want to say similar to me, or maybe I'm influenced by him, but he's just always looking for like more, like even though these are comic book movies, you can always do more with them, So he's like, you know what I would do? That girl would be the new Mary Jane, So
do you like that?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I liked it, but I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, and he gave this whole take. So I think in the time I did, like, because he sells shit. He sells it. He'll go in depth. He literally writes a whole storyline in the podcast, So he was like, that's cool, but they won't do that, So I'm watching this movie, and this girl keeps popping up with many scenes like that. And I'm like, yo, I wonder if they are going to do it, if she is going to be Mary Jane. But then in the middle of the movie, I was like, well, I don't know her name. I feel like they keep purposely not saying her name. So either she is Mary Jane, but then in the middle of the movie, they call her Michelle. And I was like, oh, all right, they're not going to do it. But then that Liz girl at the end of the movie leaves because, Vulture fucked up everything, like being, a legal guy and going to jail. So the family moves. So Liz leaves, and they put her in charge of like Spider-Man's like decathlon team or whatever, And she's like, hey, like, obviously they already know her name, Michelle, but it's like my friends call me MJ, but I have no friends, because she's the weird guy or kid girl. And I was like, oh shit, they are gonna do it. This weird girl is gonna be MJ. Yeah. So yeah, Weird Girl is MJ. I think she's like famous too, cause I don't know her, but my mom keeps saying, "Yo, Zendaya's in this movie," and I'm like, "Who the fuck is Zendaya?" I'm like- so Zendaya's like some young popular girl. You know, I don't know. I'm even trying to wiki her now. I can't even give you a good answer. But
Shame on you.
it just seems. You know what I would have? What's that other famous girl? Like, she's not Selena's, cause that's us. Selena's is Texas. Selena Gomez. You know who that is?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, just looking at this wiki, I would just say this is the new Selena Gomez for today. Like,
Okay.
so she's like Mary Jane. So
The 2.0.
yeah, but especially the way they look her, man. Looking at her in this picture, she looks like the normal pretty. But yeah, in the movie, no, she looks like the weird artsy chick. And then she doesn't have red hair, and maybe she looks like she's maybe black or something too. So she's not. So yeah, like you don't get the Mary Jane vibe at all, you know. But yeah, no, she looks like she's
Okay.
gonna be different. I wouldn't be surprised you see her like maybe transform more and more into that. But that's cool they did that though.
All right.
So yeah, but no, it's good. You should totally see it. Like I could totally see and you feel like you would like it, but just be like still tainted by the Sony. So you're like, yeah, it's alright, but it's not what you need, because you need Carnage, you need Venom. I mean, well, my bad. We are getting that. You need the real ones, like you need that. You need that
Yeah,
next level
stop.
shit. Yeah,
Stop trolling us.
my bad. Tom Hardy,
Stop
baby, he's
trolling the
coming. Tom
people.
Hardy's ready. Tom Hardy's ready.
And I don't know. Jeez. Spider-Man and X-Men. I'm like mind
So
warped
close. If
about
they
it.
gave us Hugh Jackman, we could have had literally like classic, like
He's a
mod.
soldier. Salute to Hugh Jackman.
No, but we could have had like that kind of classic Avengers where you get Spider-Man and Wolverine being Avengers. So
That would have been dope.
that would have like literally at like on his farewell thing.
But
But
yeah. All right. I'll check it out. I'll
anything
think about
else?
it.
Anything else for this one? This will be just Spider-Man only because it is long enough to be Spider-Man.
Any other Easter eggs or cool little things or allusions to anything else, or was that kind of?
I'm sure I missed the parts.
Where do you think this is gonna go, or have they already announced where this is gonna go? What's gonna happen next?
Let me tell you something. That teaser of Scorpion, I was like, why should I be excited for that?
Exactly. Absolutely. I completely agree.
But like I said, he's in the Marvel universe. He's an Avenger, and well, we know where his next appearance, barring him appearing in Black Panther or Thor, which I doubt, his next appearance, fucking Infinity War, man. He's in Infinity War. Him, Star Lord, and Iron Man standing next to each other. It's fucking crazy.
Okay, yeah, but everyone's in Infinity War.
This is true,
So
but
do
I
you
actually
think-
saw those three stand next to each other already.
Yeah, but do you think there's going to be more Spider-Man?
Well, the plan
Because
is
look,
to have
he's getting introduced.
the plan is to do his high
as-
school, like I said. So the next one would be junior year, and the one after that will be senior.
Oh, so they've already have plans for it.
Yeah,
the
and I think
adventure.
when we were ranking all the Marvel movies, there's a date already for it. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. There's a date and title, I believe.
Yeah, if it's like the Scorpion or something, dog.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
That
Okay,
sounds terrible.
here. No.
There's nothing wrong with the Scorpion. I just